me on the show the next 2 days. It's going to be great. If we're going to be from the clubhouse or the sports book, either way, they're both awesome. And we've done a million shows from there, and it's a ton of fun. It's kind of like a second home. We'll be heading there straight after the show, and I'm talking about on two wheels.
Yep.
And so that's going to be a blast. I get to see the commercial shoots and all that. Obviously, the featured guys will be Steve Azar and Jake Coker. They're just dropping me in to say a line or two, and which I'm happy to do.
Yeah.
And we were kind of there. We were the first media there. Our show was the first one there at the sports book when it, opened and became legal in 2018, and worked with all of them, on the whole deal. And it's really cool. And it's a great experience on game day. If you get to go there in the next couple of weeks or over Christmas holidays with all the college football or NFL, it's nothing better than 3-6 guys and full bar, food menu, leather chairs, the whole thing, 37 TVs. It's a ton of fun. And then
Kenzie said it looked tight.
Table games and slots are 30 feet away from you. So it's all good. But it's a great trip. It's an hour from where I'm sitting right now. And go ahead and book your 24 to 48 hours of fun at PearlRiverResort.com. Let us know if you're going, and we'll meet you up there. We have met plenty of people up there over the last 7 years. We're live in the Bank Plus studio, Bowbound Straight Funk with you on a Tuesday here. It'll be a Philip M's Tuesday later today with some saffron chowder and a bone-in ribeye. But before then, where do you think Lane Kiffin is going to land? Did you ever answer, or did you beat around the bush?
I beat around as much as I could.
Okay.
But I mean, my answer is where I really, truly believe. I really think he's going to be at Florida.
Okay.
But
I've got Florida. Now, the last 24 hours with LSU getting involved.
Yeah, that scares me.
Is LSU is a slightly, by the way, when I talk about all these jobs, Ole Miss is Ole Miss is operating at the highest level they can operate with Lane right now. So I'm talking optimal level, right? Is that fair? So obviously Florida and LSU are not right now. But it takes 5 seconds for them to be operating at a high level. Okay, if Lane's there. Lane at LSU, boom, they're top 5, possibly national champs. Lane at Florida, they're top 5, possible national champs. But they'll live in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And of course, I think Lane could work in the NFL. I think he's actually, grown up to a certain extent, and like any of us. And he's got
Dude, he definitely has it.
He's got the stuff.
Yeah.
Like Hugh Freeze you remember I said this, man, it made Ole Miss fans mad. Back in 13-14, when Freeze got it going, I was like, that shtick would never work in an NFL locker room. Okay. We've been around enough NFL guys, enough NBA guys over the years, and met enough people in front offices and so on. That stuff would that syrupy, slappy, preachery stuff. I'd never ever work in the NFL ever. Now Lane, wouldn't even miss a beat. Wouldn't miss a beat. And again, he grew up in the NFL.
Right.
He didn't play in the NFL, but he grew up with his dad, as y'all know, as a coach
the whole
in the
time.
NFL. Okay,
he's been there the whole time.
Right.
I mean, realistically, how much experience in football does Lane Kiffin have? I mean, what is it, 3-4 decades worth at least? 4.5. He was out there with what, 5 years old. He had been running around with Monty.
Oh yeah. He's
only 50. God.
We've got Lane stays in Oxford from Sherman in Natchez. T.O. is in Atlanta. Lane stays in Oxford. Rebel Greg says it's either LSU or Florida, but I think he heads to LSU. Who do I have on the Michelob Ultra caller line?
Gator Matt.
Oh, God. All right, let's contain this for a second. Gator Matt, you're on the Michelob Ultra caller line. What's up?
I mean, Bo, the idea that planes are circling Baton Rouge and that his family toured Florida. Why would Layla Kiffin tour? She grew up there.
Right.
She grew up in Gainesville.
Right.
I mean, what are we talking about? I don't believe that they were in Baton Rouge. I mean, do you? I don't think they were there. I mean, really?
I do.
I just don't. I don't. I'd have to see it. really to believe it. And I mean, what are we getting? Photoshopped AI pictures?
There's no question that you
plane?
can doctor everything and anything today.
I mean,
Absolutely.
I think we're all getting trolled, to be honest with you. I think it's going to the NFL.
Okay.
That's just my opinion. Between LSU, Florida, I mean, I'm biased, but if he wants to win immediately, I think the roster is ready at Florida. But I think it's going to end up in Miami, to be honest with you. But we'll hang up. Talk to you
Okay.
again.
Thanks, man. No, I think, well, he can win anywhere. He's going to have to totally redo his roster. He just redid his roster in Oxford.
Right.
And had the best year ever. He lost 30-something seniors or junior/seniors, players. And we already talked about 2 first-round picks in Walter Nolan and Jackson Dart, and they set a record for NFL picks.
Right.
And he's 10-1. He'll redo the roster at LSU and Florida in 2 minutes. I'm telling y'all that's not going to be the problem.
Is the NFL a real key play? I mean, is it a real player here, though? Is there a factor?
I would have to believe that Lane has pressed Sexton on whether he can get a job. Yes or no, can I get the job?
Yeah. You'd have to assume so, right?
Yeah, I mean it's nothing for Jimmy Sexton to talk to the brass with the Dolphins and with the Giants.
They know.
Right.
Yeah. Simple phone call.
And it can't be, am I a candidate? Because he can't pass on these other two or stay in, if he all this is null and void, it doesn't matter if he's staying in Oxford. But, and maybe he's going to pull this and announce that he is staying.
No way.
We've got
That's no way.
We've got an unnamed texter here listening on 105.9 The Zone at work right now. I think Lane Train is headed to Baton Rouge. I also believe that he's leaving Ole Miss in general. I don't think he's coming back to the Rebs.
I'm all right with that.
This is Mac, who's in Inlet Beach. 2 weeks ago, I thought Ole Miss or the NFL. Now I think Florida. Yeah. Shane Matthews and those guys have thought Florida. Now, what Gator Matt said is something to think about. Lane's kids, grandfather, was a hell of a player with the Florida Gators. Layla went to Florida.
Right. Grew up.
But does that mean, I think the big question for everybody is, does any of that mean anything to Lane? A lot of the people will tell you it doesn't. That he knows, as one person in Oxford on Thursday told me, they're going wherever he goes.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're going to have a great life in Oxford at making $15 million a year, a great life in Gainesville at $15 million a year, or a great life in Baton Rouge.
Right.
Because again, when they wake up in the morning, wherever they want to go, the world is small on private jets.
Yeah.
How
much is
Layla wakes up in any of these places? I mean, I know they're not together, but they're together in the sense that they're always going to raise their kids together.
Right.
If she wakes up and decides she wants to go shopping on Rodeo Drive, then she's there in 2 hours.
Yep.
I mean, that's,
Does Knox's playing career have anything to do with any of this?
Knox can play wherever he wants, regardless of where they live.
That's what I said. Literally anywhere. You're gonna play quarterback.
We make up this stuff because we're very, very collegiate.
Right.
Most of it's nonsense. It's walls that we throw up that aren't there. It's imaginary stuff.
Do pro football fans look at college football fans differently?
Yes.
Like they're idiots?
If you could understand the conversations well, first of all, I was very blessed to be with 3 Hall of Fame voters and writers the week of the Super Bowl when we went down there for Dak Prescott's party and the Valteo thing.
Yeah.
And if you could listen to them, I mean, the NFL
is different.
It's not just a level up.
Yeah.
It's 1,000 levels up.
Yeah.
I mean, when we went to the Saints game last year and we're on the field, and I've done it before, but you need to do it every now and then.
Yeah.
And you're there 2 hours for the game, and you just see what a production it is.
Right.
What was the biggest SEC game this year? Texas at Georgia or Bama at Georgia? It's not even close.
Yeah, you're right. It ain't touching like an
It's
NFL
not
game.
close.
No, it's not. A week.
And I love all
game.
of them. But I mean, it also the NFL, high school football is driven by blowouts.
Yeah.
College football was driven by blowouts, but now everything is, I never knew the league would be this watered down. That's why I question whether Mississippi State is that much better this year. I was actually looking at some offense. I was looking at some combo red zone efficiency numbers last night, and I don't think they are, to be honest with you.
Oh.
But I never thought that college football would shift to the point where you would have this many one-possession games. while the ball is watered down, the game, the games are more compelling because of how many one-possession games they are. And also, I think we're finding that we never thought that the college game would be played like the NFL game. Mm-hmm. And I know Mike Leach pulled that 25-point turnaround a couple of years ago against Auburn at Auburn, and that was like had never happened.
Right.
But what happened this past weekend is proof. I was talking to an agent over the weekend, and he said, you see that in the NFL. Somebody can be up 27-3, and it can be 27-27 before you go back and get a Michelob Ultra.
That's right.
That doesn't happen in other levels of football. But now, because the talent is spread out like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, it's a different deal. I never thought it would be like that. I never, again, 2 of the 3 levels of football were driven by blowouts. And the reason why the NFL is so compelling is because the 2, 3, 5-point games. Now we're seeing that in college. What A&M did to South Carolina on Saturday,
outlier.
It's not going to be the norm, but you're going to see that you can do that now. The way the offenses are run, the way that coaches can manage the clock, and so on. So I never thought that we would see that. Now let me circle back to where we were going, because I may have gotten ahead of myself. But if he comes back, the pandemonium and euphoria, I mean, they'll burn Oxford down.
Oh, my gosh. Well, they're burning it either way, right?
And that's a good point. I hadn't thought. They're burning it down if he comes back, and they're burning it down if he leaves.
No doubt.
What will Keith Carter do? Is he already in the mix for the John Summerall bidding? I would have to believe so.
Really?
Did Brom I know James Franklin is going to Virginia Tech, so he would be off the table for Keith.
That's a done deal.
And that would be a good hire. That's a good hire by Virginia Tech.
It is.
They're actually serious. We've talked about whether or not Mississippi State is serious about winning. I mean, Virginia Tech just said, we're serious about winning. We have a coach who's got 14 years of head coaching experience or whatever, and we went out and we got him and we did what we had to do. We didn't go get a coach and we're going to go through this development stage. So I would think, Keith, how ironclad is Brom's thing with Louisville? How ironclad is Rhett Lashley's deal with SMU? What does Lincoln Riley want to do? They play Oregon this weekend, by the way, so keep an eye on that. Southern Cal at Oregon, believe it or not, is the game of the week, I guess, because it's not Florida and Tennessee, even though it's the night game. And it's always a fun time when they play because Florida is coached by Steve Spurrier Jr. and Billy Gonzalez, which is unbelievable to me. Steve Spurrier Jr., that is a bad football coach. So, and he's your offensive play caller. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. Out of bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. As we take a look at the weekend, we do it through eye care professionals. If you need cataract surgery, a routine eye exam, you got to be able to catch the football, see the tennis ball, see the softball, see the baseball. Eye care professionals, Dr. Kirk Jeffries and the team on Lakeland Drive, 2 locations. Cataract surgery, routine eye exams, LASIK surgery. Eye care professionals, Dr. Kirk Jeffries and the team. As we take a look ahead, you'll see that, and this matters for Ole Miss. All games that have college football playoff implications matter for Ole Miss.
Oh, yeah.
Keep an eye on Southern Cal at Oregon. Not getting in, but just who could get in, who could be seated where, all that kind of fun stuff. So I know y'all are locked into the Georgia-Charlotte game this weekend. All right, who do we have? Roger? All right, Roger, you're on the Michelob Ultra caller line. What's up, buddy?
Hey, good morning. How you guys doing?
Good, man. Thanks for calling.
Hey, yes, sir. Got a quick thing on Lane Kiffin. For me, I think if he goes to either Florida or LSU, it'll be just a matter of time before he leaves there and go to the NFL, because I think ultimately he wants to get back in the NFL because he failed there. So do you want to take a chance on that for a couple of years?
Absolutely.
Or do you want to just, look somewhere else? That's my thoughts on it. I just feel like it's a fire burning that he's going to go back to the NFL at some point, even if he takes one of those jobs.
Okay. Hey, that's a good call. I'll answer your question. From my point of view, hell yeah, you do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take Lane for 2 years. See,
Heartbeat.
this is another collegiate thing. We talk about how people have to be there for 4 years, 6 years, 8 years. That's nonsense. I mean, if Charles Huff leaves in 3 weeks, he went to Southern and won whatever he's going to end up with. 9 games. When you were winning those games, how did it feel? It was fun. Winning's fun. Ole Miss just won a boat. I don't even know what Lane's.
Oh,
Will you look at Lane's overall schedule? But whatever it is, he's won a running ton of games at Ole Miss since 2020. Every one of them's been fun.
Yeah.
When Dan Mullen won for 9 straight years, every single win was fun. Every single win was fun.
My Lord.
What's his overall record?
He is 54-19 in Oxford.
That is insane.
31-17
Best
in the
hire
league.
in the history of the state of Mississippi, along with Vaught, Ron Polk, Richard Williams,
Dude.
Jackie Sherrill, Dan Mullen, Mike Bianco.
How?
I'm trying to think of
How?
Yeah.
He's 31-17 in the league. That is incredible.
Give me the overall record again.
54-19.
54-19.
That is astounding.
Man, that guy can coach.
I mean, when he was hired, you knew he would be a good coach, right?
I
Was there
think
a
that we
question?
thought that there was something there. No one believed that he would go 54-19
No. But you
and build a powerhouse.
surely thought he would trend a little bit over 500, though, right?
The one thing that Ole Miss has is they have a competent athletic director
Oh, yeah.
that is a big game hunter and that is an adult. And he is going to, I mean, you feel as good as you can feel that he's going to, if Lane leaves, if Lane doesn't decide to stay,
Right.
he's going to bring in a good coach.
Yeah.
Now,
If he's not already there.
this guy, who was that caller?
Roger.
Roger asked me about, well, will you take him for 2 years thinking that maybe he may go to the NFL? Yes.
In a heartbeat.
Because he could win a national championship
In 2 years. Yeah, I mean, in 1 year.
year one
Yeah.
or year 2.
Yeah.
You don't worry about that. I don't.
Keep going.
But again, that's very collegiate of us. We think people need to stay 6, 7, 8, 9 years and that they love our town and community so much that they would never leave.
But I mean, if he does do that and does go to the NFL, that's an indictment of a good one, though, right?
I mean, this isn't Kirby Smart.
No, this ain't college.
Kirby
bound.
went to Georgia,
Right.
played at Georgia.
Right.
His dad, he grew up in Georgia. His
Right.
dad was a long time. His mom and dad lived in Georgia
Completely
for 60 years. That is different than Lane Kiffin, who grew up moving
Yeah.
every
Oh, gosh.
32 days with his dad.
Yeah.
It's just, y'all know people that move their whole life.
Yep.
And then you know people who have stayed in the same place. There's nothing wrong with either one. So,
I can't believe that dude's only 50 years old. Lane, he's 50.
yeah,
That's it.
he's got a lot of coaching
He's
left
got
to do.
so much left. That's scary.
I guess Dabo's now back locked in. They won a couple of games.
they're
He was all happy.
Oh,
You know, we were asking the question if Dabo and Clemson would come to a mutual parting of the ways. And even though they haven't had a good year, there seems to be another lovey-dove fest. Just like if Lane announces he's coming back, all these people that I see that are mad as hornets it'll be a love-dove fest. Shower, bubbles, all kinds of fun stuff, loud music, champagne pouring on each other in the shower. Oh, hell yeah. We are the Out of Bounds Show. We're brought to you by Rick's Pro Truck, baby. Spraying bedliners and lift kits. Trucks live here. ricksprotruck.com. Show is also brought to you by Superior Foundation. Call Todd Sandridge today. Driveways, foundation work, French drains, powered by superior.ms. Mike Detillier at 8:30 on LSU.
WRKS Pickens Jackson.
All systems go.
Live from the Whiskey 61 Lounge inside the Bank Plus studio.
Is now awarded.
Live in the studio. It's the Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds. Streaming live worldwide on the Out of Bounds radio app. And on your radio at ESPN 105.9. All set? Let's go. The Zone.
Oh, man.
I believe in Auburn and love it. War Eagle.
Hell yes, he does. Good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. He's like, thank you for paying me $33 million over 3 years, right?
I believe in Auburn and love it. War Eagle.
Just trying to find some recruits.
Is he? We are the Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. We'd like to hear from you. Out of Bounds Roll Call, brought to you by Kessler Prime and the Renaissance. The text line, 601-885-3776. Is Lane just flirting? Or are they going to do the deal in Baton Rouge and Gainesville? Everybody's flirted. You flirted at a bar, at the grocery store, at a festival, at your friend's house, at somebody else's house, at church, wherever. The question is, did you take it to another level?
Yeah.
And there's a big difference between flirting and going home and getting in the shower and popping the champagne, and you got the steam and the hot water and the music and all the mirrors. You can't see. I mean, there's a difference. So what are we doing here? Are we flirting? Because that's cute and sweet and fun.
Yep.
Or are we going to do the deal? That's the deal.
Somebody's going to get hurt.
That's right. So the Golden Moon Casino text line is 601-885-3776. Are you flirting, or are you going to go back and chase each other all around the house or the condo or the apartment? That's the deal. Right?
I'm flirting.
Okay. All right.
It drives the price up, right? Well, I mean, the price doesn't matter, though.
The price doesn't matter. Money doesn't matter.
So
now, I'm talking about direct money to him.
Right.
Ole Miss has money. Everybody in the SEC has money, and
pay.
plenty of it.
Yes.
Everybody.
Right. It's like
But then there's Florida money.
Well,
And then there's LSU money.
That's true.
And then there's Texas money, and so on. So, yes, Lane has lived an incredible life in Oxford and can continue to live an amazing, incredible, rewarding life in Oxford. Brian O'Connor was living an amazing life in Charlottesville, Virginia. UVA is a top 10 university. Rich, wealthy alums. Beautiful area in the country in the Mid-Atlantic region. But he didn't want to flirt. He decided, I'm going all the way.
Yeah.
And I will take the Mississippi State job, and
my players.
I have more resources. And it's obvious what he's doing. So Lane can load. Maybe he has a national championship team right now. I don't know. Maybe he does. Some people believe they could go, at least compete all the way. Some people believe that if you run into an Ohio State, a Georgia, another team, maybe not so much. But
if in fact this ultimatum is a real thing,
I love this ultimatum. Only in sports in the Southeastern Conference,
right? Would his decision not be indicative of whether he believes it's a CFP winner or not at the team right now? Because if he leaves, he's not going to coach him. If the ultimatum's real, he won't be coaching him in the playoff. Unless he's staying, obviously, but I don't think he's staying.
Maybe Lane's looked at it and said, we played close games with Florida. We played close games with Arkansas. We played
this ain't the team.
Close games with, so I can't remember.
Washington State.
Yeah. And while we're good and he's not just saying I'm incredible. Pete Golding's incredible. Right. Trinidad's incredible. His special teams coordinators, all this. While all that is true, and we are a college football playoff team.
Sure. I'm talking about a winner.
If anybody knows or exactly what they are, it's him.
Yeah, all day.
None of us do, even though we watch all the games.
He knows. Well, he
So-
knew from the beginning of the year too, probably.
No, I
don't
don't
think so?
know about that. I think you have to play to see what you are. I mean, you don't know what you are August 15th. You may have an idea of
Sure.
where you're trending
Right.
and what's happening. I mean, in fact, I thought he said some interesting things during camp. It was either SEC Media Days or right before camp or during camp about his team. I actually thought Steve Robertson, who's a Hail State insider, nailed it yesterday when he said it's Lane's best coaching job on the offensive side of the football.
Ain't a question.
But Lane's just working people.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, Florida was up forever
Yeah.
Saturday night. But
he's hurting feelings.
when it's time to push the chips,
You go
In.
all in.
well, when it's time to really make the call and make the play, Lane and Golding and that team believes that they can do it. I mean, they believe that they're going to turn it.
right. Oh,
Because
yeah.
at 24, was it 24-21? You score one more time, it's curtains for Ole Miss.
Right.
I can't believe I'm saying that because Florida was coached by Billy Gonzalez and Steve Spurrier Jr.,
All right.
which I wouldn't let them coach over here
Easy.
at this high school.
Come on.
I mean, Steve Spurrier Jr.,
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
I mean, he could not run his room at Mississippi State, his wide receiver room. It was a disaster.
Billy.
Anyway, my point is, this is one of the most fascinating. Our world is crazy in sports. SEC is crazy. There's some others at times.
Like governmental affairs.
No, yeah, but I never thought. I mean, did I always know that if Lane won, he could leave? Sure,
Yeah.
but never in a million years did I see this.
Oh no. So does he have? I mean, he has the ability to have a pine box moment, right?
Well, he's had every opportunity to say, "I'm not leaving.
Yes.
I'm not leaving." That's easy to say.
Man,
I'm not
It's so easy.
leaving.
He could have the troll job of the century here.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, if he
I
said
think-
the pine
I don't-
box deal and left,
I don't know if that's
it's not his MO.
really
anymore.
what he's thinking,
Nah.
even though he loves to be cute on Twitter. I do think it's funny that some Ole Miss media have called him out tweeting like a high school girl or whatever they say, because
Funny.
most people in the fan base love it. I mean, he's trolled everybody in the league except maybe Kirby, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he finally did beat Kirby, but Kirby came back and beat him this year, but he's kind of stayed away from that. But he's basically trolled Brian Kelly,
Oh yeah.
Jeff Lebby, Hugh
Yeah,
Freeze.
all of them. And as of recent,
Maybe Sark. I don't remember.
yeah.
I don't even think they played. Have they? No.
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 I
Golly,
don't think he's trolled Elko.
better not.
I don't think he has.
Go beat him down.
But
Has this been one of the
Oh,
most
man.
coaching, I mean, carousel that you've ever been in since you've been,
It's up there.
I mean,
well, we have a coach from. So Dan was courted. Freeze was courted when they were winning. Beard was just courted. Jans was courted by Arkansas 2 years ago. And then Tyson and Cal got together. So that's going to happen. But at this level, no, because Lane is whatever Jackson told me, 54-19. 2, they're going to the college football playoff. 3, you got 2 monsters coming after you
Yeah.
in LSU and Florida. 4, Lane hasn't answered. He's dodged the questions. I mean, he's like Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Seriously. I mean, I don't know of a more skilled politician
Man, that's good.
in Reagan,
Right.
and I don't remember. I was a kid. I knew he was skilled, but I don't remember his press conferences, and I wasn't locked into CNN, and I don't even think Fox was around, or it was in his infancy. But Bill Clinton could,
Dang.
1994, 1996, 1998. I mean, he could just. I mean, Lane Kiffin is Bill Clinton
no doubt.
when it comes to answering questions and what the hell's going on.
So good.
Mike Detillier, LSU Insider at 8:30. He'll join us on the Farm Bureau Insurance Guest Line. Good morning. Welcome in to the Out of Bounds show. Mike Detillier will join us at 8:30. WWL Radio TV New Orleans. LSU Insider Mike D. I did get some text earlier on last night's game with the Cowboys. It's just, look, Dak and them played well. Glad they won. I was very fortunate to hang out with Dak a couple of weeks ago at the Volteo party at Cowboys headquarters in the Star, and I had a blast. But there's too much going on.
Yeah.
And look, I'm proud of him for throwing 4 touchdowns. He had struggled playing the last couple of weeks. They had struggled playing. But as Aikman said, he was throwing dimes last night. But we're moving on to the coaching carousel and the silly season. As the week we will have Ed Werder this week. Yeah. We couldn't have him the last 2 weeks because I was moving around a little bit. And so Ed Werder, Cowboys Insider, NFL Insider, will join us on Thursday. We'll be live from Pearl River Resort tomorrow and Thursday. Looking forward to that. But Mike Detillier will join us in 15 minutes to talk LSU and Lane Kiffin. And for those of you that have texted me, yes, I'm aware that Knox Kiffin plays quarterback in Oxford.
Who cares?
And that is great, and that may be the thing that but Knox Kiffin can play quarterback wherever.
Fact.
Guys, coaches, executives, medical sales reps, successful insurance reps move around all the time. Y'all know people. I've got friends who left Mississippi State and have never come back. They want to get back.
Right.
Now they're getting into the point in their life where they can, when I talk to them when they're in Starkville, they're like, my goal is to get back to Mississippi. But they worked in Denver or Austin or Phoenix or they bounced around. They're successful. When you move in your life, even those guys, when they move, it's not a bad deal. But when you move in your Lane Kiffin, you don't do anything. You don't go back to your house and pack knives and forks and plates. You do nothing. It's like if you're a top-level executive. Everything's taken care of. Everything. The only thing you do is get on the private plane and fly to wherever you're transferred. Same thing if you're a Google exec. Yep. Okay? And Cisco poaches you. You don't go home. You don't have to. You get on the private plane and you fly wherever the hell they're going to put you in New York or Brussels or wherever. So this whole thing about, oh my God, it's not like if you or I have to move. It's just not.
And Knox Hitton, it's not like he's a top 3 prospect.
No.
I'm sure he did get a playoff win. Congrats to the kid. They had
sure.
A win, and then they played another playoff
This is
game.
about Lane.
Yeah, man.
Lane's always going to make it about Lane. Plus, Lane's the one that makes $15 million.
It's not his fault. Yeah, I was about to say it's not his fault it's made about him. It just is.
Mella Rebel says, I'm just living in the moment. This is good PR for Ole Miss. No matter what Lane does, I trust Keith Carter and Dr. Boyce.
You should.
Well, you should trust Keith Carter. Keith's probably been working just as much on hiring a new coach as he has been retaining Lane Kiffin. He has to. Yeah. Keith's made some phenomenal hires. He's also had some really tough, candid conversations with Mike Bianco that ended up working out. The question is in Starkville, has there been any tough and candid conversations this week? If there hasn't, you're not serious about when. I'm very clear on this. Yeah, if there were not any tough, candid conversations on Sunday or Monday, you're not a serious football program or athletic part, and maybe no one up there is serious. But Keith Carter sat down with a guy who had been there for 17 years and winning, and had a very, very direct and candid conversation with him years ago, and has had several more. And Mike's one of the best coaches to ever coach in this state. Are we going to the Michelob Ultra caller line?
Yeah, we got time.
Who do we have?
Rebel, red and blue.
That's been a while.
It's been a long time.
All right, RB, where's Lane going?
Well, up until last night, I had about a 70% thought that he would stay, but now I'm at about 20% he's gone, that he's staying and he's gone.
Wow.
Okay.
And the reason, but look, I think there's a lot of people listen. Keith Carter, I know he's got a job to do, Kiffin, but I think there's a lot of people involved in this that are listening to other people, and they need to make their own decisions. For instance, yesterday morning, I listened to multiple sports talk shows. Nowhere was it said that Ole Miss needs to give them an ultimatum until different analysts started saying the same talking points yesterday. All of a sudden, we've given him an ultimatum yesterday afternoon. Is Keith Carter watching TV or listening to the radio? If it is, he needs to turn it off. Make his own decision. Here's where I'm at. I understand timing with recruiting, the transfer portal. If he leaves, we got to get us a coach. I get all that. But we're at a place we've never been. We're about to be in the playoffs, more than likely. You give the man an ultimatum, he decides, and that helps him go out the door.
Yeah.
He takes another job. Then what are you going to tell him? Well, we don't want you to coach our playoff games because you're taking this other job. Guess what? I know the horse I got in the race. I would much rather have him on the sidelines coaching my playoff games than not. I would have just let this played out, however it played out through the playoffs, because guess what? If Lane Kiffin leaves, Ole Miss is back to mediocrity anyway.
All right, thanks, Rebel Red and Blue. Appreciate the call. I don't know about that. I don't know. You will not be operating at the level, regardless of what Keith can do. You will not be winning at the level that you are currently. But you have put some systems, models in place, I think, and you can't always even be ascending with Lane, but you have put some systems in place to where you are going to be really, really competitive in my opinion. And as y'all, I've said it before, you're going to get tired of me. You're probably already tired of me saying this. I cannot believe how watered down the league is. I mean, when I was looking at the numbers let me back up a minute. When I was looking at the numbers last night, I'm not sure Mississippi State's that much better. When I was looking at the combined red zone scoring efficiency, I mean, you're bottom 4 in the league.
That bad.
I get called up week to week just like you do on Saturdays. You know, Mississippi State was up 17 points on Texas. Like, I didn't think that would happen in May, June, July, or August when Jackson and I were doing shows. But things happen in games. You're really not that much better. Everything is about offensive and defensive scoring efficiency. The whole thing is driven by offensive and defensive scoring efficiency. Now, it's also how many times throughout the court, especially in critical moments, situational football, how many times you score on explosive plays, what does that mean for our listeners? And you know what it means. It means how many times do you score outside of the red zone?
Right.
Or how many times do you give up a score outside of the red zone, which is a backbreaker? Because if the team that you're facing is on your 44-yard line and they score on you, that is brutal.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? But as I was looking at the numbers last night, I was like, they're really, even though people want to simplify it to 2 wins, 5 wins.
Right.
Could be 6.
It ain't like that.
You may pull an upset next Friday. You're really not that much better. You're not. I mean, if the numbers are the numbers, you're really not that much better. The league is watered down. Now, it's fun.
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying watching closer, compelling, competitive games is more fun. But, y'all, I don't think you're that much better.
It hurts your feelings.
We're live in the Bank Plus studio. LSU insider Mike Detillier coming up next on 105.9 The Zone ESPN. Is Lane headed to Baton Rouge, Gainesville, or staying in Oxford? Good morning. Welcome in to the Out of Bounds Show.
Just trying to find some recruits.
We're live in the Bank Plus studio. Show is brought to you by Sound and Communications, soundcomav.com. Your next video wall for your business or school or arena is powered by Sound and Communications. Soundcomav.com. We welcome in Mike Detillier, WWL Radio TV New Orleans. Mike D joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance Guest Line, LSU Insider. All right, Mike D, what have you been told? What is the latest on LSU and Lane Kiffin?
Well, it's what we've talked about here for the past couple of weeks. He is their top choice. They're going to make an all-out effort to bring him in. This is in the basically hands of Lane Kiffin to make a decision. But I think there is no doubt, despite, I've had probably 50 to 75 texts sent to me about LSU is going to land Nick Saban. And my thing is, aren't you listening? He's not coming back coach. He was in Louisiana, but nothing gets in the way of a good story or people who don't know what they're talking about. He came to New Orleans to talk at an AI conference, and I guess he got like $75,000 for the talk, and then he left. So, but nothing gets in the way of a good story. But right now, I don't think there's any choice in the matter. He is LSU's number one choice. He is Florida's number one choice. Ole Miss is number one choice. Two of those schools will be very disappointed in a week or so when, Coach Kiffin makes that decision up. So, no doubt about it, Bo. He is their guy. He was their guy from day one that they went after. And he is today. So you're just waiting on that decision from Lane Kiffin to see exactly where he'll coach in 2026.
All right. You want to handicap it, or are you just like, hey, who knows what he's going to do? Stay or go to Baton Rouge or Gainesville?
I have no idea if he'll stay, if he'll go. I had a lot of people that were telling me over the weekend, Florida people, that he's going to sign with Florida on Sunday. That didn't happen. And I didn't think it would happen, to be honest with you. The timing didn't make a whole lot of sense. Then, bang, yesterday, Wilson Alexander, who we had on, kind of details some of the efforts that LSU was making to try to lure him to Baton Rouge. And I'm sure, if it's dollar for dollar, Ole Miss can match, any kind of contract that LSU would give him. So it's going to be where his heart is in this. And there's only one person that knows.
Right.
That's Lane Kiffin, not somebody that's in their mom's garage who's on social media. It's none of these type people. It's going to be up to Lane. And we do live in the commuter world of college football, of college athletics. And these things happen. It's very awkward timing with everything now. You have your team on the verge of getting into the, college football playoff system, and all of this hits. And it's the time bomb approach. But from day one, I've been told it was Lane Kiffin. That's the guy they wanted. They made, and they were going to make every effort to try to bring him to Baton Rouge. The thing is, and I've been involved with it 9-10 times before in coaching searches, sometimes you better have a list more than one or two, because sometimes one or two turns you down. Every once in a while, though, you do land the top guy.
Right.
And for LSU people, they've been through this before. If you're, I was just a really little kid at this time, but Paul Dietzel in the 50s wins a national championship for LSU. They get I think it was a 9-1 season, and he leaves LSU. Now, different time, different era. He leaves LSU to go to Army. The Army. Okay, that's in the early 60s.
Mm.
We saw Nick Saban, and we saw what happened there. Wayne Huizenga, who was then the owner of the Dolphins, trying to get Saban to go to Miami, and he did, and Nick left. We saw Les Miles, not once but twice, University of Michigan playing footsie with him. I think he was really close to leaving at one time. And in a quick story, we do an LSU pregame, me and Bobby Hebert and Deke Bellavia. And it was rumored that he was going to leave to go to Michigan. Kirk Herbstreit comes on game day and says Les Miles will coach his last game today, SEC championship game, and then he will take the job at Michigan. And we had a good friend of ours that was close at LSU. And all I told him was, you just tell me, I don't want the details. Just tell me if he's staying or going. And I guess about an hour into the pregame, because he had a meeting with the players, I get the text, Les is staying at LSU. And remember he came out with that thing, I want to be with my damn fine football team.
Oh, yeah.
It was no press conference. He just came out and talked, which was really weird. But anything Les did sometimes was really weird. So it's par for the course here. And now we're seeing it played out again. But this time it's a high-stakes game of poker with three major players involved here. And LSU's all-out attempts, just like Florida has made all-out attempts to get him, and I'm sure Ole Miss will do everything they can to keep him. Big question mark, though, Bo, and I can't answer it, really, is what exactly Lane is going to do, and nobody else can, too. They might guess it right, but they don't really know.
Right. Mike Detillier, LSU insider, WWL Radio TV New Orleans. He joins us on the Out of Bounds show and on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. Burge Osbury, he's highly respected, and are they basically giving him unlimited funds and to get this deal done, or a deal if Lane says no?
Yeah, it's just Verge has autonomy to do whatever needs to be done to land a new coach. That happened a couple weeks back, and Wade Roos, the new president, says, he's part of the board, but basically Verge has autonomy to do what he wants to do to hire a coach. It's going to be his decision, and this is the same school that, if you can remember, Governor Landry said, we're running out of resources. And they did a study yesterday that from 2015 until today, this school, not counting Brian Kelly, has spent out over $43 million for coaches that aren't coaching here anymore.
Mm.
So that poor school, and I told you before, man, you learn in Louisiana, there is no one guy. This isn't Oregon with Phil Knight or Michigan with Larry Ellison or Cody Campbell at Texas Tech that can say, what do you need? And I'll write you the check. But they got people with cash here, and they love LSU, and they are willing to spend it if it means getting who they believe is the guy.
Do you believe, Mike, that Kiffin's family was in town yesterday?
There's no doubt. There is no doubt he was in Baton Rouge. Now, I will say his family was also in Gainesville last week. So we'll see what happens with that particular part in far as, looking around, finding areas. And it was so funny. It reminded me of Coach Saban. Coach Saban talked about when he threw his hat in the ring at LSU, when it looked to be it would be Mark Richt, that he didn't come down to Baton Rouge. He sent Miss Terry. Because he said, I didn't want to get any ridicule. So he sent Miss Terry down here, and nobody knew who she was. She went to TJ Ribs one time, and they had a contest, pick the LSU next head coach. And I think she was one of two people that put Nick Saban's name in the hat. I don't know what she won out of that, but she did. She did do that.
Do you want to handicap it, or what? How about timeline? Ole Miss is going to the college. How does this look? You think? Ole Miss is going to the college.
But
yeah,
it really does. It really looks awful. And I get Ole Miss saying, "Hey, look, give us a decision." And I think you have to. You have to get that decision out one way or another. This has been a really unusual year for Ole Miss in football, because I think last year most people thought that would be the year they get in. They had really went all out in the portal to get a ton of players on defense, especially up front. Okay, you had a first-round pick quarterback in Jackson Dart. Walter Nolan, who got from A&M, was a first-round pick guy. I know one thing, Trey Harris didn't start at Ole Miss. Remember when he was a high school quarterback throwing the football to Malik Neighbors in high school, and he goes to Louisiana Tech because he was a conversion player. He was a quarterback that they turned into a receiver, and then he told me the reason he went to Ole Miss. He said, one reason, Lane Kiffin. He said, I know they're going to throw the football, and that's why I'm leaving Louisiana Tech to go to Ole Miss. And it looked to be, like last year was set up for them, that they had the type team, and had they gotten in, I think they would have been very dangerous had they gotten into that top 12. But it did not happen. And this year you wondered, a new quarterback, got a lot of new guys along that defensive line, and they caught lightning in a bottle. And it worked. And then Trinidad. What a great story with Trinidad Chambliss coming in. So in this crazy world of college athletics, it's a real good chapter. I don't think anybody thought they would be a team that would get into the top 12. Now, I think Ole Miss fans, diehard Ole Miss fans maybe thought that way, but I don't think anybody else did, that they would end up there. I think everybody thought it would be a year ago. But I've got coaches in my family, and they all tell me the same thing. Sometimes the most talented teams aren't the best teams. It's the teams that they know they figured out a way to win, and it all comes together. But it's been a crazy year where, who dominates a lot of the headlines is not all the time the Blue Bloods. It's been Indiana, Texas Tech, Vanderbilt, and now not only because they've won so much, but because they have the hottest coach in football today, in Lane Kiffin. Ole Miss dominating it.
Mike Detillier on the Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. So, do you believe that the NFL could still be in play here, or that this is just a Ole Miss LSU Florida game? Yeah,
I'd heard a lot of people talk to me about the Giants, but Joe Schoen basically in his interview with Jay Glazer said he would not go to college ranks. Miami was another team that I had heard linked because of his relationship with Tua at Alabama. But I think this is between the three colleges right now. I think it's between the three. I have not heard anything concrete about the NFL. But, hey, just hold on. 24 hours might pass, and you might. It's a crazy situation, but I think we're living in that world, Bo.
Right.
I think we're living in it now where it's different. you would have waited till the season was over. Coach Saban waited till the season was over before he left LSU. Paul Dietzel, they played the Orange Bowl that year, and then he left to go to Army. But now you got guys coming and going. Here's the real kind of clinker in the bunch. I know how close Lane Kiffin is to former LSU coach Ed Orgeron. Ed and him were on that staff at USC.
And Tennessee.
And then Ed gets the head coaching job at Ole Miss. One of his assistants on that staff was a guy by the name of Frank Wilson, who's now the interim head coach at LSU. So Ed gets fired at Ole Miss, coaches with the Saints 1 year, and then Lane comes to call, and I think he doubled his salary, and they went to Tennessee. And on that staff was Lane Kiffin as the head coach. Orgeron was the, I think, assistant head coach, recruiting coordinator, defensive line coach. One of the assistants was Frank Wilson, who's now the interim coach at LSU. Mm-hmm. Just sort of strange bedfellows. Now, they only lasted 1 year at Tennessee, and then they went to USC. But, man, it would be intriguing because people say, well, you would never hire a former head coach to come back to be an assistant coach at the same school. Well, hell, didn't Arkansas just do that with Bobby Petrino?
They damn sure did.
And so I do know one thing. There are two guys that know the Louisiana high school ranks better than anybody, and that's Frank Wilson and Ed Orgeron. I mean, there's not a high school coach in area where they have not recruited before. And the little twist with this, and this started under Ed, that LSU was not landing the vast majority of the top players in the state of Louisiana. Look on LSU's roster. There are less than 40 guys from the state of Louisiana on that roster. It's the first time I can ever remember that. And it has really escalated the last few years under Brian Kelly. And now, got a lot of them that have went elsewhere. And I think that that's something Coach Saban did back when he came in, to say, I'm going to build that levee in Louisiana and keep the most of the top players here. You're not going to keep everybody, but most of them. And over the last 10 years, there have been more draft choices from LSU that didn't go to high school in Louisiana than there were high school players in the state of Louisiana. And last year, per capita, Louisiana put out more NFL players than any other state in the union.
Yeah. All right. So do you think where do you see the timeline headed for this thing, Mike D? Saturday, Sunday, next week, Thanksgiving? Yeah,
because it looks as though Ole Miss has told Kiffin that they want a decision, and I would think he's going to coach the Egg Bowl against Mississippi State, and I think you'll know pretty close afterwards of exactly what's going to happen. And I think it would be only right for any of the three schools, but especially Ole Miss. Come on, you have to know, because even with a loss to Mississippi State, you're still going to be in that 12 number. You're still going to be there. It's, again, odd timing for what happens all the way across the board, but it's a strange twist to it. So I think, next Saturday, you sort of know one way or another with Coach Kiffin, but I can't think of another story like this in recent years. Mm-mm. That you have a coach now, it's expanding now to 12, but even during the 4, that this is happening at that moment. Because most of the time, if you get a contract extension, it's sometime during the year saying you're going to stay. That is the one element, and I talked to Wilson Alexander about this yesterday, and he was like, that is the one element that came into play here. Him not getting, or he might have gotten it. I'm sure he got it, but he didn't sign it, and it's played out. Listen, nothing like an LSU coaching search is all I can tell you. But two schools are going to be very unhappy.
Oh, no doubt.
It's all over with. No doubt about it.
Let me ask you this. Your best source that you've talked to with LSU, what are they telling you? Your absolute best source that you have, what have they told you?
They made the best offer they could, and they're just waiting on Kiffin.
Okay.
They didn't have a feel one way or another, and this is somebody that I feel knows what he's talking about. But they felt confident they had made him an offer that he couldn't turn down, and which would probably that meaning that he would be the highest paid coach in college football.
All right,
which is a lot of money. I mean, you're talking about over $14 million. And again, if you peel back the hands of time, you had the governor of the state yowling about it. What he didn't throw into the conversation was that 90% of that money was private money. He didn't get quite the facts right on that.
No, he didn't. And I think somebody told him to sit this one out, Mike.
Yeah, exactly. Real quick. No more Pat McAfee shows for you. No more, answering questions about the coaching search. Listen, he got much bigger issues in the state than that.
Right, no doubt.
So LSU's athletic program, $200 million last year.
Yeah.
And so you understand this is big business. Now, I have been told by somebody that would really know that their NIL, layout, so to speak, and asking for money has flattened over the past month, which you understand because nobody knows exactly what's going to happen, has sort of flattened out. But if they were to land Lane Kiffin, I'm sure that it won't stay flat for long. They'll have a lot of people chirping in that money. And it's that time of year where people who have money, their feeling is, I'll rather give it away to somewhere else than to pay Uncle Sam. And so that's also a part of it. But boy, it's a crazy tale at this stage, and nobody really knows. That's the part you might guess and guess it right, but you don't know. And even people in the know will tell you, I think it will happen, but I'm not sure. So that tells you they don't know either.
Mike D on the Out of Bounds Show. Thanks, Mike D. Brought to you by your next video wall for your conference room, business, or school. Sound and communication. SoundcomAV.com. Hour number 3 coming up.